Man, what is good, YouTube? This is if the UFC had a light heavyweight tournament to decide the champion in the UFC. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to do a quick breakdown, but also like on tournaments, I always have the damage up 10% to make it more interesting so we're not getting like boring decisions. I separated everyone by rankings. I had to throw some other people that aren't ranked in there because they didn't have everybody. And also, this was maybe before the new rankings came out, so I had like Hill on the other side when I probably should have had Anke, but it don't matter because Anke passed him on the rankings. But anyways, let's get straight into the first fight. Alright, for the first matchup in the tournament, we got the champion, Pereira, taking on OSP. OSP, he starts off this fight good. He does a little lean back uppercut to the body that rocks Pereira, but Pereira comes out with a straight right that rocks OSP. OSP throws the overhand. He's looking for the upset. He ends off that combination with a kick to the body. He ends up shooting a takedown, trying to get Pereira to the ground, but he stuffs it. He tries to shoot an overhand. Pereira counters with a knee and an elbow that sits him down. He gets right back up just to get sat down by a double jab. OSP, he completely misses a kick. Pereira makes him pay for it with a lean knee to the body, ending with an elbow that sits him down. He's swinging more shots. OSP moves out the way. He counters Pereira. He has him wobbling. Pereira goes for a fly knee. He just misses it. But then he comes back with a head kick to end things off, and he KOs OSP in the first round, and he moves on to the next round. Alright, for this next fight, we got Glover Teixeira taking on Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker comes out hot. First 5 seconds, throws an axe kick, and he rocks Glover. He's starting to let some shots go, but he moves straight into a check hook. Glover, he's keeping up the pressure. They started trading shots. They're just going back and forth. Glover comes in with a nice overhand that rocks him. He ended off with an uppercut. Johnny Walker, he gets hit by a check hook that rocks him and a right hook. He just kept coming in reckless with his chin up. Glover ended up shooting a single leg to get him down to end off round 1. Now we get to round 2. Johnny Walker starts off round 2 just as hot with a Superman elbow with a 1-2 down the middle. He had Glover in some real trouble, but Glover, he's tough enough to survive. He's moving the way out of his shots, and then he comes back with his own right hand that sits down Johnny Walker. He falls him to the ground. He was starting to let some ground and pound shots off, and he almost got Johnny Walker out of there, but Johnny Walker, he survives. He tried to go for an arm triangle. He got reversed. They got back up to the feet. Glover tries to clinch right back up, but Johnny Walker hits him with a nice elbow. He has him wobbling backwards. He's hurt, so he ended up shooting a double leg. He got Johnny Walker to the ground. Johnny Walker ended up giving up his back, but there was only 5 seconds left in the round. He couldn't do anything, but he ended off the round on top. Round 3 started. They just stand in the pocket, and they just started trading shots. Glover rocked him to the body. He rocked him up top again. He's keeping up the pressure. He sits down Johnny Walker with a straight right. He tried to follow him to the ground, but he decided to let him up since he was getting the better of it, but ended up not working out. He got hit by a Superman punch. Johnny Walker tried to go for an axe kick. Glover ducks his head into an uppercut. He gets rocked, but he comes back with a straight right, sits down Johnny Walker, and then he puts him to sleep. For this next fight, we got Rakic taking on Krylo. Krylo, he came out with a duck and roundhouse. He throws another head kick. He lands it. And then Krylo, he just kept spamming head kicks like someone that just got UFC 5. He just kept spamming them. But Rakic, he came in with a leg kick. He ended up getting checked, but he goes up high with the next one, and he rocks Krylo. He has Krylo on the back foot. He ends up missing an overhand. That ended off round 1. Now we get to round 2. Krylov's back at it, missing head kicks. He went for a duck and roundhouse side kick, missing both. Rakic throws a head kick and a straight right that sits down Krylov. Krylov, he ended up standing back up, though. He goes for a knee. He gets sat down by a check hook and a body shot. Rakic ended up throwing a double uppercut. Krylov tried to counter with a leg kick, but he ended up getting checked. Rakic threw his own leg kick. He also got checked. Both of them are not getting discouraged because they just kept throwing leg kicks for the rest of the round, even though they were getting checked every single time, but they were staying with it. But Rakic, he ended off round 2 with a nice overhand that sat down Krylov. Rakic throws a teep kick to the body. Then he throws a little calf kick that hurts Krylov. Krylov throws his own leg kick. He hears Rakic right back. Rakic comes in with another leg kick. He hurts Krylov, tries to throw another, but that one gets checked and he falls to the ground. Rakic throws a body shot and a calf kick that got checked. Then Krylov, he ends off round 3 with a huge overhand that rocks Rakic, and we got to our first decision of the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Alexander Volkan Rakic.
This next fight between Anthony Smith and Anke started off hot. Anthony Smith started off this fight with a huge overhand that rocked Anke. They both traded shots at the same time. Anke sat him down, but he also got rocked. Then he threw 2 back-to-back straight lefts, sat down Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith pushed him right off. They got back to the feet. Anthony Smith went for an overhand. He got sat down by a front kick. He got sat down badly. Ankalaev decided to let him up. Then he got hit by an overhand and an elbow. Anthony Smith, he started chucking hooks. He sat down Ankalaev, led him right back up to the feet. Ankalaev lands a 1-2 and a head kick. Anthony Smith comes in with his own head kick. He sits down Ankalaev, but Ankalaev sits him down with a straight left. He starts letting some ground and pound shots off. And then finally, after a brutal round 1, Herb Dean steps in. Alright, this next one we got Yuri Proskov taking on Paul Craig. I don't know why Paul Craig has the size advantage. He literally dropped the middleweight and now he has the size advantage against Yuri, who's actually huge in real life. Yuri comes in though, sits him down with a straight left. He threw a lead uppercut, didn't even need to land it. Paul Craig, he was shooting desperate takedowns. Yuri has him in a clinch, lands a nice elbow, then they break off, lands a front kick that rocks Paul Craig. He feinted a spin, landed a little combination, ending off in a leg kick. He sat down Paul Craig with a straight left. Paul Craig was way outmatched on the feet, so he just started spamming takedowns. They got stuck in the clinch. They broke off, but Paul Craig actually landed a huge uppercut on Yuri as they broke off that rocked him. Yuri Proskov, he slips a jab, sits down Paul Craig. Paul Craig tries to let some shots go, but Yuri lands a beautiful head kick combination that puts Paul Craig to sleep. Alright, this next fight we got Jan Blachowicz taking on Volkan. Jan starts off this fight huge with a huge head kick that rocks him. Volkan comes in, he gets hit by a check hook. Jan Blachowicz, he kept up with the pressure. He ended up shooting a takedown that he did not need to shoot at all. He goes for a front kick, gets hit by a straight left, lands a check hook and more shots behind it. Volkan comes in again with an overhand, gets sat down by a check hook. He just kept running into the same shot over and over again. Jan Blachowicz sits him down with a 1-2. And that ends off round 1. Alright, now we get to round 2. Volkan throws a lead uppercut. Jan Blachowicz puts his head straight into it. He gets rocked badly, but he lands that check hook. Sits down Volkan again. He was landing check hooks all day, but Volkan came in with a nice elbow and more combos behind it. Landed a nice head kick. He had Jan Blachowicz rocked. Jan Blachowicz, he ended up shooting a takedown. They got stuffed. Volkan was landing huge shots in the clinch. He landed 2 big elbows, then landed a 4-piece combination that sat down Jan. He followed him to the ground, started landing some ground and pound shots off, and then Herb Dean stepped in. He got a comeback victory. Round 2 finish over Jan Blachowicz to move on to the next round. Alright, next fight in this tournament, we got Israel Adesanya taking on Krylo Roundtree. Roundtree starts off this fight with a huge uppercut that rocks Adesanya, but Adesanya comes in with a 1-2 duck and roundhouse. He sat down Krylo Roundtree. Krylo Roundtree tried to lock in the guillotine. Adesanya was not able to get out of it. He lynches it in. He moves on the top mount. Israel Adesanya tried to go for an armbar, but that was the end off round 1. Alright, now we get to round 2. Israel Adesanya started spamming off hooks, ended off that combination with a straight right. Then he did a 1-2 and a head kick. Krylo Roundtree put his hands up for it. Krylo Roundtree, he lands a nice straight left. He came in chucking hooks, went for a lead uppercut. Adesanya slipped it. He rocked him, had him moving backwards, went for a side kick. Krylo Roundtree took advantage of it. He landed a 3-hook combination, sat down Adesanya to the ground. He started letting some ground and pound shots go, and then he ended up letting him up after 2 minutes of control time. I really don't know why. He went for a leg kick. Adesanya tried to counter him. That ended off round 2. Now we get to round 3. Adesanya, he ducks under Roundtree's punches, hits him with a nice uppercut. He went for a side kick. Krylo Roundtree moved out the way, hit him with an overhand. He sat down Adesanya. Adesanya, he got this fight back up to the feet. Roundtree was letting some shots go. Adesanya was moving out of the way. Then he countered him. He rocked him badly. He started letting some shots go. He sat down Roundtree. Roundtree got right back up. But as soon as he stood up, he got sat down by uppercut. He came in, got sat down by straight left. Izzy, he followed him to the ground. He landed a nice elbow to the body. But Krylo Roundtree, after a minute, he ended up taking Adesanya's back. He transitioned to top mount. He started raining down shots. He rocked Adesanya. Then he came in, threw an elbow, almost got him out of there. He kept him there for the rest of round 3, and then we got to a decision. I was too impatient, so I skipped him reading out the scorecards. But I'm going to be honest, I thought if I skipped, it would just skip the highlights, go right to that, but I guess not. But anyways, it was a split decision. Adesanya, one judge had it 29-28 Adesanya. The next 2 had it 29-28 Roundtree. Alright, for this next fight, we got Jamal Hill taking on Dominic Reyes. Jamal Hill went for a knee, but he got tripped up from a leg kick. But he got right back up and he landed another leg kick that hurt Dominic Reyes. Then he ended up shooting a takedown. They got stuffed though, but when they broke off the clinch, he landed a nice uppercut that rocked Reyes. But Reyes, he came back swinging. He landed a nice overhand and a hook. Then he went for a kick, but he got countered bad and he got rocked. And that ended off round 1. Starting off round 2, Jamal Hill threw a body kick, got hit by 2 jabs, a crane kick, and a jab that sat him down. But he got right back up just to get hit by a head kick that rocked him. He was wobbling backwards. Dominic Reyes was keeping up the pressure. He sat him down with a left hook. He got right back up. Jamal Hill, he ended up shooting a double leg. He got Dominic Reyes to the ground. Dominic Reyes, he was able to get back up to the feet. Then they exchanged some shots in the clinch. He went for an elbow, got sat down by a straight left. Jamal Hill was throwing a couple shots in the air. Dominic Reyes went for a leg kick, but he got checked badly. He sat down. Jamal Hill went for a leg kick. He got checked. Threw another one. He sat down Dominic Reyes once again. Reyes did a little front kick to the body. Jamal Hill, he sat him down with 2 leg kicks back to back. 20 seconds left in the round. He followed him to the ground. Dominic Reyes got right back up. Went for a jab. Got hit by a leap kick that rocked his leg. Now we get to round 3. Jamal Hill, he kept up the pressure. He knew that leg was almost done. He kept attacking it. He rocked it, and then he sat him down. But he got back up, checked a leg kick. Both of their legs are in danger of getting finished. Jamal Hill throws a leg kick. Dominic Reyes throws an overhand. He sits down Hill, but he gets finished. He couldn't get up anymore. Jamal Hill, he walked out with a victory, even though he got knocked down badly. Alright, now we take a look at the next round. We got Alex Pereira taking on his coach, Glover Teixeira. Then we got Alexander Rakic taking on Anke, Yuri taking on Volkan. And then we also got Krylo taking on Jamal Hill. Let's get straight into it. Okay, first fight in the next round. Alex Pereira taking on Glover Teixeira, his own coach. He starts off this fight with a lead flying knee. He rocks Glover Teixeira, goes for a spinning back fist, sits him down. Glover jabs to the body. He gets hit by a right hand and a leg kick. Glover comes in, gets hit by a left hook, but then he lands a huge overhand that rocks him and a head kick behind it. He ends up shooting a takedown. He misses it, but he went for a lead uppercut. He sat down Pereira. He had him in the clinch. He started landing some big shots. As soon as they separated, he shot a double leg, but ended up getting stuffed. Pereira reversed him, landed a shot to the body, went up top with the left hook. He had Glover rocked. He was walking him down, throwing shots. Glover tried to make a comeback, but then he got slept by a right hook. We hop into the second fight of this round. We got Alexander Rakic taking on Anke. Anke started off good right off the bat. Rocked him with a left hook, but then he took 2 huge leg kicks back to back that hurt his leg. Rakic went up top with the next one that rocked Anke. Anke threw his own leg kick. It got checked. Rakic threw another leg kick, and the leg kick right after that, it sat down Anke. Rakic followed him to the ground. Anke got back up, and it's only round 1, but Rakic is only 1 leg kick away from finishing Anke. That finished off round 1. Now we get to round 2. Rakic, he wasted no time. Went for a leap kick. He hurt Anke leg. Went for another leap kick. Then a leg kick right behind it. He sat down Anke. Went for a leap kick as Anke was throwing a kick. He got sat down again. Went for a leg kick again. It got checked. He tried to go for an overhand, but then he got hit by an overhand. But then he finished off this fight with a leap kick that had Anke falling to the ground. For this next fight, we got Yuri taking on Volkan. He starts off with a straight right and a left hook that rocks Volkan. Volkan comes in, tries to throw a calf kick. He gets hit by a check hook. He comes in again, gets hit by another check hook, then sat down by a straight left. Yuri switches stances, leads a lead uppercut, right hook, and then he started letting more shots go. Double jab that sat down Volkan. He followed him to the ground. He started letting some ground and pound shots off. Ended with a huge elbow that almost got Volkan out of there. Volkan, he ended up standing right back up to the feet. Yuri had him in a clinch. He landed some big shots. He dropped Volkan to the ground. He had him in top mount. He started raining down shots. He had Volkan in real trouble. Lands a huge elbow. He ended up posturing up again, and then at the end of round 1, he got a finish. Herb Dean stepped in. Yuri moves on to the next round. Okay, this next fight, we got Krylo taking on Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill goes for 2 jabs. Krylo's out of the way for it. He lands a nice left hook. He sat down Jamal Hill badly, followed him to the ground, started letting some ground and pound shots off. Hill got back up to the feet, went for a body shot, but he ate a front kick, then a knee to the body, and a kick to the body that had him hurt badly. Roundtree, he throws a straight left, rocks Hill. Hill's out of the way for a 1-2. He goes for a leg kick. It gets checked. Roundtree was coming in. He was chucking shots. He was not worried about what was coming back. He throws a double jab, straight left. Then he goes in with a leg kick. He lands a nice check hook as Hill's coming in. Hill ended up shooting a takedown, but he got stuffed. Went for a body kick. Got hit by a 3-piece that sat him down. He came in chucking hooks and got slept by a check hook. Okay, for the semifinal matchups, we got Alex Pereira taking on Alexander Rakic, and then we got Yuri taking on Krylo. Let's get straight into it. Alright, for this first fight in this tournament, we got Alex Pereira taking on Rakic. Pereira, he comes in with a nice front kick. He throws a calf kick. Rakic, he throws an uppercut to the head, then an uppercut to the body. Alex Pereira, he throws 2 hooks and a lead uppercut that sits down Rakic. Rakic came in throwing a whole bunch of hooks. He got hit by a lead front kick. Pereira, he tries to throw a head kick combo, but Rakic is out of the way. He probably could have landed a good counter shot on him. Pereira, he attacked the calf, and then Rakic hit him with a nice left hook that had him wobbling backwards. Pereira throws a jab, then he gets hit by a straight left, and then he goes to the head, then the body, then a head kick to finish it off. Had him rocked. That ended off round 1. Now we get to round 2. Pereira, he goes for a switch kick. He gets countered. He comes in trying to throw the left hook. He gets hit by a nice hook, then a straight left. Rakic throws a leg kick, but it gets checked. Pereira lands his own calf kick. Rakic, he comes in a little reckless, gets hit by a left hook. He's wobbling backwards. Pereira, he was keeping up the pressure. Then he ended up getting wobbled. He was moving backwards. Rakic, he kept up the leg kicks, and he kept getting checked, but he lands a nice front kick that had Pereira wobbling backwards. Lands a nice calf kick that finally worked out, and then that ends off round 2. Now we get to round 3. Rakic, he starts off with the leg kick. Pereira, he ducks his head straight into an uppercut. Rakic rocked him. He tried to end it off, throwing a whole bunch of hooks. He ended up getting his leg checked, but he lands a nice leg kick. Had Pereira's hurt. Went for another leg kick. He got checked once again. He tried to go up top with it. Pereira, he lands a huge overhand and a whole bunch of hooks behind it. He sat him down, tried to finish off with a leg kick. It got checked. Rakic went for a leg kick. It got checked. Pereira lands a nice leg kick. He goes jab to the head, jab to the body, head kick, sits him down. He falls him to the ground. He started landing some shots. Had him in top mount. He started raining down shots on him. Lands a nice elbow. He postured up again, raining down shots. Herb Dean had to step in, and he moves on to the championship matchup. Alright, for this next one, we got Yuri taking on Krylo Roundtree. Roundtree starts off this fight with a lead kick. And Yuri was doing what Yuri does. He was pressuring him. He feinted his spin, but he ended up getting hit by a whole bunch of shots. Roundtree tried to come in with a knee. He got countered badly. Roundtree, he lands a nice elbow, but Yuri, he throws a lead front kick and a straight left. He rocked Krylo Roundtree, tried to end it off with a head kick. He lands a nice 1-2 down the middle, goes for a check hook. He gets hit by a check hook. Roundtree tries to go for a flying knee. He got sat down, and that ended off round 1. We got into round 2, wasted no time. Roundtree comes in with a jab and an uppercut, rocks him, 2 more shots behind it. Yuri pushes him down with a teep kick. He had him in the clinch. He landed 2 elbows. He rocked him. He does a spinning elbow, check hook, sits down Roundtree. He started raining down shots, and he got him out of there in round 2. Herb Dean steps in. Alright, after all the matchups, now we got the final matchup for the championship fight. We got Alex Pereira taking on Yuri for a second time. Let's get into it. This rematch starts with a glove touch. Yuri lands a straight right, but gets hit by an uppercut. They both came in with a straight. Pereira, he gets the better of it. Pereira was walking him down. He tried to let a combo go. Yuri ducks under, lands it straight to the body. Then they go ahead. They trade lead hooks. Pereira, he comes in, though, with a nice uppercut and then a shot to the body, but Yuri sits him down with an overhand. He feints a leg kick, goes for a leg kick. It gets checked badly. His leg's already pretty badly hurt. Pereira, he lands a nice hook combo, and then he lands a kick to the body, rocks his body, sits him down, and that ended off round 1. Round 2 is all respect. They start out with a glove touch. Yuri tries to go for a head kick. He ducks straight into an uppercut. Pereira walks him down, jab uppercut, puts him to sleep. Alright, after a round 2 KO in the final matchup, Alex Pereira, he wins the light heavyweight belt over Yuri once again. I'm going to try to get more divisions for these tournaments, but anyways, that's going to end off the video. I'm out.